Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Gender Wars tonight. We have an amazing show planned out for you all. We talked about basically where your loyalty lies, how to deal with unloyal people, things that bother us about unloyal people, just everything about these people not being loyal. So with that said, we hope you enjoyed the show. Hey everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in to Gender Wars. Once again, this is week episode 6 or 7 for us, and we have just been getting better and better every week. I'm super excited to be chatting with y'all tonight. How are you doing today, Mr. Neal?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Nice week and nice weekend. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Definitely after a long week, it was nice to have a just refreshing weekend of just rest.
Absolutely.
And just me time.
Yeah.
Me time.
I snuck out of town for a couple of days just to get away and go on a little vacation and did some work. But it was fun, and so that's basically what I've been up to, and had to be back for Gender Wars.
Right. I was so happy about that when you said you were going out of town. I was like, heck no, are you gonna be here for the show? Because we can't miss it. We actually have people, amazing chatters, who keep returning to the show, who I think will really miss it. So I'm happy we are back live with you all. How are you all doing in the chat? If you haven't been with us, we're going to explain the show, but I want you all to go ahead and enter a chat name, a guest name, come in under your Facebook or Twitter, something, so that we can shout you out as we are chatting with you. We love to show love to our viewers just like y'all show love to us.
That's correct. Why don't you tell them about what Gender Wars is and how it's ran?
Yes, sir. Okay, so Gender Wars is a show where we talk about various topics. It could be dating, it could be life after college, it can be how do you deal with different situations, it could be anything. It's a live advice type, discussion type show where we both kind of chime in from both of our perspectives. I as a young female, him as a young man.
Yep.
Sometimes we agree, sometimes we, just
go to war.
Right. Can't really stand each other, but it's cool.
Yeah.
We also have chances for you all to call in. As you can see, the number is at the bottom of the screen. At any time, you can chime in on a topic that we're talking about, or you can bring up a new topic that you would like advice on, or just for us to kind of go at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Did I do a good job of that?
You were decent.
Can you do better?
No.
Okay, then. Anyways. Let's go ahead and get this show started.
Absolutely.
I believe you have our first topic of the night, sir.
I'm opening up with a topic that I've kind of been getting this past week. It's kind of been all around me, and it's this loyalty or lack of loyalty. And I want to talk about that. I want to hear some opinions and how you feel about people these days and their loyalty.
Okay.
Do you think people are loyal? I mean, obviously we have the hit song out right now basically stating that these chicks aren't loyal.
These men as well.
So I want to hear what you think about loyalty. Do you think people are loyal these days? In chat room, I want you to be throwing in comments in the chat room. And let's just make a discussion. Let's start with you.
Okay. Unfortunately, I feel like loyalty is just at an all-time low. It seems like people don't value being loyal to one another as they used to. I don't know. It just seemed like when I was younger, and I don't know if this is just something because I'm getting older, but my circle is super small to the point that it's not even like a full circle. It's almost like a baby triangle right now. And it's because I feel like I can't trust anybody. I feel like people aren't honorable. I feel like people are dishonest. People will backstab you. People are trying to get over on you. People are trying to use you. People will just do a lot of grimy things. And that level of respect for one another and that level of loyalty and dedication and commitment to a friendship, relationship, to families, it's just not there.
Let me ask you this. With everybody being so, I guess, dishonest and, backstabbing and everything, does it make you be less loyal as a person?
Honestly, I feel like my awareness of that and the way that I've been treated in the past and the times people have not been loyal to me, I feel like that has made me want to be a more loyal person.
Oh my.
I'm far from perfect, and I, of course, like everybody have those days where I'm just like, well, screw everybody. Everybody's just screwing me. Screw you, all of that. But at the end of the day, I feel like I just want to use that as a positive for me. And if that's going to make me more loyal to somebody that I'm going to have anything with, I want to value that and really use that to my advantage.
Sure.
But yeah, I feel like seeing my own situations and other people's situations, I just see the effect that it has on everybody. And I just don't want to make anybody feel the way that I felt or make people feel the way that I've made people feel in the past. And that really just makes me want to be more loyal. Not to everybody, because you can't trust everybody, and everybody doesn't deserve that from you.
Right.
But it's like the few people that I have in my life, I will give them everything and anything in me, you know. And I really try my best to use my moral compass and everything when it comes to them, just because I just don't want that to be something that people describe me as disloyal.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
How do you feel about it?
I agree with what you're saying. As far as people being, you said loyalty is at an all-time low. You know, I definitely agree with that. I think in my world and the people that I'm around, I build my teams off of loyal people, and I know that it's really, really hard to build my teams because of that. People lack that trait. So I definitely agree on that point. I don't know. I think these days a lot of people are throwing around the loyalty as far as relationships. Like that's the big. It's like I guess that's like the only moment when people, you know, are really serious about being loyal, or you know, are expecting somebody to be loyal in a relationship. But I think loyalty in business, loyalty in relationships, loyalty with just regular friendships,
right?
With family, I think all those loyalty is loyalty, and I think it's lacking in all of those areas.
Right, and honestly, I do feel like because people aren't exercising it in those other areas, except the few people who these days value loyalty in a relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like because they don't exercise it enough, they don't truly know how to be loyal. Even when it comes to their relationships, if you don't exercise that in you enough, if you're not constantly working that or constantly just working that with anything, it's just not going to be there.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like in friendships especially, it's something, to me, a friendship can be more valuable than a relationship to some extent.
Sure.
Especially if the person that you're with isn't truly your best friend, like I think they should be. But sometimes people just need that outside person to be able to go to.
Sure.
And I just feel like the loyalty in friendships especially is unfortunately really, really non-existent, it seems like, these days. And the way people treat each other when friendships are over too, or they kind of part ways, I think, I don't know, I feel like your level of loyalty to somebody shows when they're not around.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you cut things off with somebody and you start slandering them, or when you're behind their back and you're talking about them and everything, that's where your real loyalty is shown. You don't stop being loyal when someone's not around you. You don't stop being loyal when you end a friendship or a relationship. Loyalty is something that you just have in you, that you just have that level of respect still, no matter what, between each other, that just is there.
Absolutely. We've got a couple of people. I mean, I guess the chat room's starting to warm up. Normally it is already flying by now with comments.
Right.
Get in the chat room, folks. Say hello. Say what's up. We've got a couple people in there that's already saying stuff. One of our guest 615, put your name in there so we'll know who you are. Basically says, I'm a very loyal person until you do me wrong. And that's kind of what you said. You know, they kind of went further with the comment, but so is it possible for you to be loyal to somebody who has done you wrong? Can you forgive and they be on the same level again?
I have,
especially a boyfriend.
I've had, and I'm still working on my level of grudge holding and everything. So I don't feel like it's gonna to some extent make me not value the same way that I used to. It's just gonna leave that lasting effect where I'm just not. And I don't feel like that's unreasonable. I do try to forgive, though, because I feel like forgiveness is something you do for yourself, not necessarily for others. Even though the person who always betrays you or screws you over or whatever is constantly the one begging for forgiveness, at the end of the day, it's more important that you forgive for yourself so you can kind of move on past that and not have those negative feelings and things like that. But things definitely aren't the same with me. As soon as I see you slip up, and I'm not talking about the little things people do, if I start noticing little things building up, or if I just see a moment that's set out in front of you to truly define whether you're loyal or not, and you just show me which side you're on, then it's gonna be you know what, it's cool, I have love for you, but I'm not going there with you. You keep your distance, I keep mine, and we'll just leave it at that.
What's caused these people to be so, I don't know, so dishonest and so ruthless and so, I don't know, just on to the next?
Well,
what's caused this? Give me some answers.
I don't know the answers to all of this stuff. Maybe you should talk to the people who have been disloyal to you. Because I honestly, not saying I'm a perfect person, but and I have done some things where I look back on, it's like I really wish I would have made a better decision, or that's where I really could have shown how dedicated I was to that person as a friend. And I just didn't do that like I should have. I chose the wrong side. I have those things and everything, but at this point in my life, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I like to think that I'm a bit more past that. And I don't, even though I had that maybe the same mentality, I myself, when I've been in those situations, don't even know where it comes from. I don't know if it's because you're not in the right thinking or you don't value that person enough. A lot of times I think we do take people for granted and we don't value our friendships, relationships, whatever. We think people are just going to keep being there for us, keep giving us handouts, keep being that shoulder to cry on, even when we screw them over, and that's just not the case. And it's completely unreasonable for us to expect that, but that's kind of how we do when we're just used to being somebody being around, you know? So
I understand what you're saying.
I don't know why people are like that. Like I always say, our morals these days, especially with our youth, are shaky anyway, and we're coming off of that, I feel like, generation where it really started getting fuzzy. So I mean, that might be a part of it too. People don't value the same things, people don't have the same morals, and we don't value each other in the same ways.
I'm gonna ask the chat room a question that I want you to answer, and then I'll get off your back. You can ask me some stuff. Who's more loyal these days, men or women? Chat room, I want you to throw in men or women. Who's more loyal these days? And then I want to hear your opinion. Chat room, throw in those answers. Let me know what y'all think.
Okay.
Who's more loyal?
And I just wanted to give a shout out to Jay Knight and guest 615, who are both chatting with us and have actually put their names. Thank you for sharing those.
Absolutely.
And your comments. I hate when you do stuff like this, because ideally I'm supposed to be on the women's side.
You said there weren't many sides.
I know.
No.
But I mean, everybody wants me, like, ideally, if the show is run like it's supposed to be in everybody's mind, I'm supposed to be like with the women, you're supposed to be with the men. But I do have to say, I feel like
wow, here it comes, folks.
I don't know. I just feel like women, I don't know if it's because of our emotions or our vengefulness that's in a lot of us or what, but I do feel like women just are less loyal. I feel like no, but then you look at relationships and stuff, and it's like a lot of dudes cheating and not valuing that stuff. That's a hard question.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is a hard question.
No.
When you take into account, yes, it is. Because women do a lot of deceitful, dishonest, disloyal things out of emotion and everything like that. But a lot of men these days do a lot of stuff just because they don't care. So it's like on both ends of the spectrum, I feel like both genders are kind of disloyal in their own areas and have kind of developed a rep for being so in their own ways. I do know that it's harder for me to keep a female friend than a male friend, though.
Wow.
So from my perspective, I feel like women are less loyal just because I have maybe one person from elementary, middle school that I speak to that's a female. I have one of the same close friends from 3rd grade, one of the same close friends from 6th grade, some of the same close friends from high school, and they're all guys.
That's really interesting. I'm reading some of the comments in the chat room. Again, people jump in the chat, give some comments. It's interesting. You're saying that it's hard because sometimes men are more loyal, sometimes women are more loyal, but you feel like maybe women, or at least this is how I took it, maybe women are less loyal to other women.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting point.
I do, and honestly,
that maybe men are less loyal to women and women are less loyal to women.
Mm-hmm. And
that's interesting.
But I mean, you see it even the way we talk to or about each other. I just feel like women in general find it hard to have genuine levels of respect for each other. Mm-hmm. And that kind of leads into them not valuing loyalty among each other. Or even if they did have some level of respect, you got a couple little check marks before they just say, okay, this girl, blah, blah, and just kind of, cut her off. And that might be, like I said, the emotional thing. We're quick to act on our emotions and let that dictate how we feel about people. But like I said, in my life, my friendships are a solid representation of the level of loyalty. I'm not saying I've been the perfect friend, but I do think that I've been a good friend. And I've honestly was a hardcore ride or die or whatever for my friends until I started getting screwed over by everybody and realized, I need to clearly develop a chip on my shoulder like everybody else, because being too nice is getting me screwed over. And that's when you're dealing with all females. So it's, for me in my life, I feel like women have been less loyal to me. But obviously, when you look at relationships and stuff, I mean, the dudes are like all over the place. So like I said, I feel like both genders, we kind of have our areas.
Okay.
I don't think it's like a lot of these things, I don't feel like it's a gender thing where it's more or less. I feel like it's just a people thing.
I suppose.
Do you feel what gender do you feel like is less loyal?
I do think that there are certain situations where a woman could be more loyal or a man can be more loyal.
Yeah.
But I think in general, I don't know. I would say men are less loyal.
I do feel like you have to look at it as a situational thing too.
You do. You
really do. Because that really got my wheels turning. It's like women will do anything, practically die for a man, and but in the process of like being loyal to her boyfriend or something, will be completely disloyal to a friend or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I don't know. I feel like it completely depends on the situation.
Okay. Well, then let me clarify. In relationships, let's say in relationships.
Okay, that's more specific.
Yeah. And I think that's easier to answer. Who's loyal more in relationships?
Well, then that's the case where it's like automatically women.
Automatically women?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though
I had this argument with somebody earlier this week. Women do not get the hammer enough on cheating. Y'all cheat a whole lot.
I know that, and I'm the first one to say women will cheat just like men. But that emotional connection we develop is far worse than physical.
than the quickie that we get away with.
We really think things through. Like, we have plots, we have plans.
Backup plans.
Even on Laugh Out Loud, Glenn was talking about the wife devised this plan where the man she was sleeping with behind her husband's back, she's calling him his cousin and all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, I mean, women, that's just how we operate. We will go to that extent just to get our way. So I'm not by far saying that women are not cheaters or are, these angels or anything. But I do feel like men kind of do. It's easier for them to kind of just jump to the next thing. And
you read Go ahead.
And you do see a lot of these women. I mean, when a dude falls hard, I do feel like he stays stuck on one chick. But I feel like a lot of females, not the ones who are sleeping around and everything, but the females who do value relationships, they will sit there and hold on to a dude for years. Because they are so dedicated to loving that person and everything. Yeah. And that might be because they're scared of loneliness or whatever, but that's still, if that boils down to them being loyal, I mean, hey. But yeah.
It's I understand what you're saying. It's in relationships, most definitely there's that, but I think cheating is a huge part of being loyal in a relationship, and I don't know, y'all just get away with it. I mean, you rarely hear a man say, right. How often do you hear a man come in the room and say, yeah, she cheated on me? I think it's a little more common to hear one of my guy friends say that if we all playing cards or something. Yeah. But we won't even flinch if one of my homeboys says, oh, yeah, she was cheating on me. I was cheating on her. Like, you expect us to cheat on the women, and we don't even flinch on that. And I think that's just so...
But that's not all the on the women for like, oh, y'all don't get enough crap, because it is like a dude. Women, when we go through things, we'll let the whole world know, and everybody knows we'll be cheated on. Mm-hmm. If a dude gets cheated on, he either just is too ashamed to tell anybody, or he just keeps it quiet just because dudes don't want to talk about how they feel. Yeah. And I feel like that contributes to that, because a woman is going to let everybody and they mama and they sister and they cousin-in-law that they got cheated on and screwed over. And a man just isn't going to make that the case. Right.
Well, I think there is a part, at least for us men and our ego, it really would affect a man if he's cheated on by a woman that he really cares about. I mean, that really is an ego crusher. Mm-hmm. And it's nearly impossible for some men to even speak on that to their homeboys, let alone make a status about it on Facebook. Yeah. Our ego just doesn't allow us to do that. I mean, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. Versus y'all always look at it like, look at what you about to miss out on. And that's kind of how y'all feel about it. Y'all are missing that ego. Mm-hmm. That male ego that we have.
Yeah, true.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Stay with us. Chat room, hang out with us. Call in the numbers at the bottom of the screen. Are you loyal? When's the last time you cheated? I don't know. Do you believe in Chris Brown's lyrics where he says these people ain't loyal these days? I certainly do. I bought that song twice on both of my iTunes accounts.
Okay, with that, we're going to commercial break. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
All right, we are back, y'all. We hope you enjoyed that first end of the discussion.
That's right.
Definitely hit on a topic that, honestly, even though I wasn't the one to bring it up, it does bother me a lot, because I do feel like I've grown to try to be as loyal as possible. Yeah. And I just feel completely disrespected and everything when I don't feel like that's returned, and it unfortunately, I feel like affects the way I treat the people around me, because I don't want to be less loyal to you, but at the same time, it's constantly turning in my head. Are you lying to me? Are you going to be dishonest? I'm waiting for you to basically screw me over. And that's just a terrible feeling to have to kind of live out your life like that. So,
yeah. So I'm reading these comments.
I see you're completely distracted by them.
Yeah, because somebody's talking ham over here. He left. Where did he go on vacation? Coming back on fire, talking about women cheating.
Right. That's what I'm like. And the funny thing is, he went there single and everything. So I'm like, dude, did you like have like a 3-day relationship that just went sour and then you came back?
I think so. On day 2, I got cheated on. Came back home.
Cheeks are getting red and everything. Can we calm it down?
Hey. No, I mean, it's just people. It kills me with how we are as people. And how like everybody's so focused on sabotaging, and it's not even worth it. And it's like it's just a waste of energy, a waste of you. Well, I don't want to. A waste of you being alive is really what I want to say.
Oh my goodness. Okay, he's taking it there.
Well, only because it's like. I just really don't understand how, like, I've got some really, like, I met somebody on Instagram, and they love my business. They love what I do. They repost whenever I have something, that's promoting my business. That's what is it called? Support, yes, but you've got people who will go out of their way to like sabotage something. And unfortunately, it's some people that are actually supposed to be loyal.
Yeah.
So it does kind of get under my skin. It makes me upset. I was out doing some yard work at the home, and there's and I saw these ants. This is crazy, but I saw these ants all in a single file row, all doing whatever they was about to do that day. If they was about to go get some food or go line up, and you've seen A Bug's Life, you know what they do. So I'm like, look at these little bitty tiny ants with these little tiny brains, and even they're smart enough to get in a single file line, get the job done, get their work done, build this home because it's going to rain tomorrow or whatever. And we as humans are like the smartest creatures on earth, and we don't even know how to fall in line and handle business. It kills me.
I don't know if I brought up the ant thing to you, but I've taken an ant photo before and attached the biblical quote that relates to it. But it's funny that you're saying that now, because that's the exact mindset that I have every time I look at the photo. It's
crazy.
But
it's crazy.
While we're touching on this topic of loyalty, before we wrap up on this, can I say something to the people who are the ones who are basically out here screwing everybody else over?
Oh my!
I've dealt with them. You probably dealt with them. Everybody has probably dealt with them. And I think I might even posted something about this because it drives me crazy. Stop screwing people over, being disloyal and all of this, and then expecting somebody to just forgive you the next day. It makes me so frustrated when somebody does me wrong and then they're sitting there reaching out to me, and I'm just like, you know what, give me my time, give me my space and everything. I know you need space, but this and that, and I'm just like, can you just give me some time to recover from this? You have no right to rush my process of healing when you were the one who was being selfish in the first place and didn't think about me. So this is my time to think about me, since you couldn't let me have my time.
Oh my.
That really, like, seriously, it really, really makes me angry, because I feel like it's just so inconsiderate. You did your wrong. You have no right in any situation to feel like somebody is entitled to give you that forgiveness on your time.
We're living in the world of right now. Like, everything's right now. Everything's instant. It's like, this is the microwave generation.
Yeah.
This is the Facebook generation. Everything happens instantly. You could put something out right now and the whole world can see it. No, get over it quicker. I mean, that's the way this world is set up right now.
It's so annoying, though.
And it's going to get worse.
I've literally dealt with situations where I've just that has made me not want to talk to you more, just because you're trying to rush me so much.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't need you to sit there and send me messages every single day. I don't need you to ask me if I'm less mad today than I was yesterday. You're making me more mad by continuously doing that. It's like, just give me some time, and when I'm ready to reach out to you, I will do that. I'm sorry, I just had to get that out there, because it might be somebody who's watching who has done this that needs to stay in their freaking lane.
Well, you got people yelling, preach and stuff, so I'm assuming that they agree.
Okay.
I'm assuming they agree.
Since you started the rant, I decided
Who is guest 615 with all these comments, man? Who is? Put your name in the chat, man. Let me hear. Who are you?
Y'all clearly haven't seen him on the show before, because he does not like it when y'all don't have names.
Yeah,
when y'all have these
I want to be able to address you. I want to be like, look, Samantha, I had a good vacation.
Just give him like a Jane Doe or something.
Don't judge me.
So that he can be at peace, because clearly.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's funny.
As always, the number is at the bottom of the screen. If anybody wants to call to help us change topics, chime in on something we've been talking about. This loyalty talk has been going on for a long time, but I feel like it's an important conversation, because clearly it's bothering both of us.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yes. Okay. If I can kind of switch gears, I want to get a male's perspective from this, just because I thought it really made me think about it after it happened.
Okay.
So, I'm in the grocery store earlier this week. Had my earphones in because I'm at Walmart after work hours.
Can you pause that, and can we
take a call?
Can we take a call, and then we'll get back to that?
Okay, go ahead.
Caller, what's your name and where are you from?
My name is John Doe.
John Doe. Great to hear from you, sir.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay. Did you want to chime in? Excuse me?
I am from Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't ask you where I was from. Where you were from. Sorry.
I think she gets nervous when she's talking to men with deep voices. Let me take over this conversation.
Shut up, and the voice is not that deep.
Hilarious.
I was about to say, it ain't too deep, but hey.
Don't co-sign with her. Okay, so you calling in with a new topic that you want us to talk about, or you want to give us some feedback on what we were just talking about? What do you got for us?
Well, I've been looking at the chat room, and I've been tuned in, so I agree with a lot of the points that you guys made about the loyalty, and it really depends on if you're talking about relationship specific.
Yeah,
I feel like women are more loyal. They'll definitely give their all, and a lot of times that's when they end up, they get cheated on or whatever, and then that may be where they might become unloyal is after the fact that they've been cheated on. But I also have a new topic as well.
Before we get to that new topic, let me ask you a question, Mr. Doe. My question is, if a woman gets cheated on, do you think that gives her the right to be disloyal? Look, Google, is it disloyal or unloyal? Which way is the right way to say it?
I think it's disloyal.
Okay,
I think it's really disloyal.
Okay, well you said unloyal, so you need to.
That's true.
Quit messing me up. Okay.
Yeah,
So, do you think that gives the woman the right to be disloyal in the future and with future relationships? How do you feel about that?
Actually, I don't think anything gives you the right to be disloyal because you want to treat people the way you want to be treated.
Right.
But I will say that, of course, in a perfect world, no, you don't have, that shouldn't give you the right to, but a lot of women, if you're affected, especially if you were very emotionally attached to the situation, then, you may be like, well, I'm going to be a player now. Like, I'm going to make sure that I always got like 2 or 3 dudes that I'm talking to. So I'll make sure that if one lets me down, I got another one right here,
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, great feedback.
Yeah,
what's your new topic, sir?
It's about relationships and just curious on what people think about, if you're in a relationship, they become an ex. Well, I've seen relationships where the ex ends up becoming a best friend after that. And, if you're in a relationship with someone, how would you feel knowing that your partner's ex is now trying to be their best friend or is their best friend? I feel that in that situation, there's always going to be some lack of trust there, and that your ex usually, not always, but the ex always still has a little bit of feelings for that person. So they may just be, let me stay at that best friend spot and just hope for something to go wrong. Well, she can always talk to me about what's going on, and I can give her this advice that'll make it look like I'm,
helping,
a
but
good
really
guy
hurt.
or whatever.
Right. Absolutely. So let me first ask this. Let me just ask. Can I ask just a couple more questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So, Mr. Doe, what part are you in this? I mean, I'm assuming that you have dealt with this before. Are you what person are you in this whole scenario? Is it your girlfriend that has a best friend that's an ex? Is that the way that this works in your world?
Yes, that would work.
Okay.
Wait, can you repeat that? Sorry.
So his girlfriend.
Wait. Okay, yeah. My girlfriend is the one that, well.
Your girlfriend has a best friend.
My girlfriend is the one with the best friend that's an ex.
Absolutely,
okay.
And I appreciate you coming out and saying that. And I appreciate when a man can especially call into a show. I know it's anonymous. He said John Doe, but still, I appreciate when a man can say, "Listen, this is a situation that I'm in a relationship, and I don't like it. I don't feel comfortable about it." If I was you, Mr. Doe, there's no way I would be cool with my girlfriend being best friends with an ex-boyfriend.
Right.
There's no way I would be cool with that. What do you have to say on a woman's perspective?
I personally wouldn't allow that. I just feel like that's disrespectful to your current relationship to let somebody who was something to you in the past be that close to you.
Yeah.
I feel like if you sit down and have a conversation with her and just say, look, I know y'all mean a lot to each other. Some of my exes, some of my old friends mean a lot to me, but I've distanced them just because I'm serious about our relationship.
Yeah.
I feel like you should do the same thing because I want there to be equal respect for our relationship. And I do feel disrespected by that. And I do feel like, I mean, she's either going to take it two ways. She's either going to say, you know, I understand where you're coming from. Let him go, or she's going to be one of those females who, hopefully you have a girl who has more sense than this. She's going to be one of those females. You just insecure. I'm tired of insecure men who just, just all that extra stuff, implying that it's your problem that you have a problem with them being friends with their ex.
Right.
Which clearly, if she's that defensive and everything, you need to let her be with that ex because she's not ready to move on.
Now, let me ask you, what do you think John should do in this situation? Should John confront her? Should John just think about him to himself and then make his own decision? How do you think John should handle this?
No, I think you should go through your girlfriend directly to her and just tell her, you know what, this is my feeling towards it. Can you please fix this? Because if you try to go through the dude, I feel like that's just taking a long circle around
of course,
when it could be a straight line directly to that person. You never know how that guy's, I mean, he's irrelevant anyway.
Right, absolutely.
So definitely just go to her, sit down, have that conversation, and if that will let you know where you need to go with the relationship, because that will let you know where her loyalty lies.
Okay, we've definitely got viewers jumping in, and we've got Michaela Moore that's back in the house. Hello.
Right, while we're talking. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'll jump to you. I want to get him off the line.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
But I want to get everybody up to speed. So we have someone on the line who is in a relationship. His girlfriend has a best friend that's a male, which is already kind of tough.
Yeah.
But then is also an ex.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I would handle this situation, Mr. Doe, and then you kind of take the best of both of our answers, and I think you definitely should take action. I would sit my girlfriend down. I would say, look, it's bad enough that you have a boyfriend. I mean, you have a best friend that is a male. I could possibly be okay with that, but this person is also an ex, so I can't deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not scared to tell you that I can't deal with that. You're gonna have to pick if you want to still live in the past with your ex, if you want him to be your best friend, or if you want to work towards me being your best friend and me being the only man in your life, as far as that goes. I'm not saying that my girlfriend can't have male friends, but there's no way that my girlfriend is going to have a best friend that is her ex.
Right.
That wouldn't work for me, and I would just let her know.
Mm-hmm.
And more than likely, typical chick, she's gonna flip out. She's gonna say, well, you know what, forget it then we might as well end and we might as well break up. That's good for you, because you don't have the time to sit there and worry about, oh, I wonder what they're doing. They went to the bowling alley tonight, and I wonder if, it's you don't have time to deal with all of that stress and all those thoughts. If you're dealing with
a woman with any type of level of sense of maturity, though, it's not going to be that situation. I mean, even if she's feeling some type of way, she's going to know how to handle herself, and at the end of the day, come to the realization, like, you know what, I want to move forward, not be staying in the past. What I was going to say before is 615 says that doesn't work out. An ex is an ex for a reason, and I feel like somebody with sense is going to realize that. Right.
So, Mr. Doe, do you have any other comments or any responses to what we said before we let you go, sir?
I agree with a lot that both of you have said, and now I think if you do have a best friend that's if I have a best friend that's a girl that's not an ex. Now I don't think that's an issue there, but I do think that if they're an ex or there's that history there, and it can be very difficult. And I've dealt with a couple of situations where I've had that happen, and I will just say, I want to go ahead and let the viewers know that, I had one ex that next thing you know, her her best friend was an ex, and she got pregnant by that guy.
Ooh wee.
Yeah, and you ain't got time for that stress.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, listen.
Yeah, you know, like, whoa, you know.
You don't have time for that.
So I had to.
And John Doe,
So,
this is how I handle this. I'm gonna say this, and then we've got to move on. But this is kind of how I handle these types of things in a situation. I sit down with myself. I say, "Hello, self. How are you doing today?" "I'm doing fine, self. What's up?" I say, "Listen, could I be in a relationship with somebody and my ex-girlfriend be my best friend? Would I cheat on my real girlfriend? Could I do that?" And I say to myself, "No, that wouldn't be good for me." So I wouldn't allow that on the flip side. If I wouldn't do it to someone else, then there's no way that I would put up with it. That's kind of how I want to end out that topic. I appreciate your phone call, Mr. Doe. Feel free to tune in with us every Sunday at 7 p.m. Gender Wars on SNBTV.com. That's how she says it. Have a good one, sir.
Take care.
You too.
Okay.
You look like you're going to stab somebody with your dot. It's .com.
Well, I'm not about to do .com.
I know, then don't do it at all.
Yeah, but it's kind of catchy.
No.
It makes me want to emphasize the dot. I just don't want to do it like you do it. So you do it like a .com, like okay, and I'm gonna do it like a bang bang, like .com. Can we have our
We can have it. Okay, that's fine. I feel like it's a lot of built up here. Hopefully he's a bit more calm after this show, y'all. He looks like he's really going through it. Anyways, I want to give a shout out to Miss Mikela Moore, who just joined and jumped in at the very end, but we appreciate your presence nonetheless. Do we want to wrap it up, or can I just give my quick topic?
Give you a quick topic, and if you're having trouble watching the feed, make sure you click the mobile version of the video. Go on.
Okay, since we're on the topic of loyalty, that did make me think about this situation. Earlier this week, I said I was in the grocery store, Walmart, earphones in, and I really wanted to be bothered by anybody. As I'm walking down the aisle, this gentleman who looks maybe late 20s kind of just stops in his tracks and stares at me.
Oh, my.
So I kind of just turn my buggy into the next aisle. Okay. Cool. Keep it moving. Realize I have to loop around because I missed the aisle that I need to go down, and he's there. So I'm strolling down there trying to get the cereal that I need, and he stops me all nervous and everything. It's just like, "Miss," just staring at, "Okay. Yes, sir." You know, I just had to stop and tell you that you are just so beautiful. Like, everything about you, your hair, you know, the way you're carrying yourself is just so beautiful. Just says all this stuff with these dreamy eyes and everything. And then he tells me, "But you know, I'm married, so it's not like I want anything from you." It's just, I just had to put that out there because, like I said, I think you're really beautiful. Although all the very kind things, he was really polite and everything, although all those things were super sweet and appreciated, I had to run that back after the conversation was over and say, wait a second. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want my man telling another female how beautiful she is in multiple ways, and syllables and nouns and adjectives, when he's supposed to be with me. So my question is that, I don't want to say a form of cheating, but is that appropriate if you're in a relationship? Like, he wasn't disrespectful. He wasn't being super forward. He did make it clear that he was in a relationship and all that other stuff. Yeah. Afterwards, it's not like he acted like he wanted to pass off his number, even though I don't know. Listen, but
I think those are
is that okay?
I think those are the best compliments in the world. When someone compliments you and they're not supposed to compliment you, I think those are the best compliments in the world. Those are the ones that I think about at night, like they didn't even have to say that. They're not supposed to say that, but they did anyways. No, you shouldn't have been offended. You should have actually loved that. You should have.
Well, I did really appreciate it because, like I said, it was really sweet. He was really polite. I mean, it's probably the best way I've been approached by a male in the past year, honestly. So that was nice. But my question was, if that was my man, would I want him to be doing all that?
Well,
I mean,
and
that's the flip side of it. It's like, I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate the way he carried himself. I appreciate the fact that he even said, "I'm married and I don't want anything from you. I just want to tell you that you're beautiful." But on the other side, the woman's side, who's thinking about, if I was married to a man, is like, would I be okay with that? I mean,
of course not.
In his head, if he's thinking she's pretty and I know his type and everything, of course I'm gonna realize he thinks she's attractive and everything. But I I don't know if I would want my man speaking so eloquently to a woman that's not me like that.
Yeah, well, it's
So again, is that okay? Like, is it okay as long as your spouse isn't around?
It depends on who you ask. I certainly wouldn't want my wife to be flirting with somebody.
And honestly, I didn't take it as like flirtation. Not like it could have been.
But there's a one compliment rule when I'm in a relationship with somebody.
Okay.
Like, you can give somebody a compliment. You can say, "Oh, hey, he's tall." That's compliment number one.
That's
you better
not a real
say,
compliment.
When you are saying someone's tall and I'm not as tall as them, that's a compliment.
Okay.
That just took away your compliment allowance. You get one per person. So if you do more than two, which you sound like he said he gave you more than two compliments.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be there would be a fight at home. We have to have a fight about that.
Okay.
Yeah, you get one compliment with somebody.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're walking down the grocery aisle and I say, "Oh man, her hair is beautiful," that's legit. That's okay. My girl can't get mad at that. If I say, "Dang, look at her hair," and "Oh my goodness, she's got a banging body," like, I deserve to get slapped.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One compliment. Well, that's the one compliment rule. I think you can do that.
Y'all need to get that in writing and signed. But clearly, this needs to be a conversation when y'all are in or an understanding between y'all when y'all are in a relationship. But because I mean, he definitely wouldn't have done all that if his wife was there.
Yeah.
But I like to think people should kind of behave in a similar fashion as they would
Absolutely.
if their spouse was there.
Absolutely.
So if you're not gonna be sitting there telling me how gorgeous I am for a minute and a half when your wife is there, you don't need to be doing all that when she's away.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I love when I'm in a relationship. Certain chicks I've been with have been like this. We'll be walking down the street or whatever, and we'll be walking across some chicks or whatever, and my girlfriend will look over and be like, "Hey, you think she's cute, don't you?" And I'll be like, "Yes," and it's that closeness, and it's that it's that realness. Like, I'm not scared to say, yeah, she's really attractive, and my girlfriend knows what I like and is not threatened by just putting it out there. Hey, you think she looks real good, don't you? Or you like her such and such, ... whatever. And I'm like, yeah, I do.
See, mine is the ... because mine is like, oh yeah, you think she's pretty, bet not be staring at her. I caught you. I knew you were gonna do it. That's me. It's still that, oh, I know she's your type. I know you're gonna look and everything, but it's that playful. Well, you better not be doing too much.
Don't get confused. No, I can't just sit there and double take.
Well, obviously, yeah.
I mean, it's just more of like the openness about it. It's like you can kind of just. I think that's really, really valuable when you have that in a relationship. When you're not scared to be open about stuff that's natural.
It's healthy, right?
Yeah. So, hey, who is guest 949? Oh my God. They had a good comment. They put, if the spouse is around, that would be disrespectful. But no harm in giving a compliment. I agree. Who's guest 949? Throw your name in the chat room, and please don't put no Jane Doe or nothing crazy like that. Give me a real name. At least come up with. At least give me a real fake name.
Okay. He is clearly feeling some type of way, y'all. With that said, do you have any other comments before we wrap this show up?
No, let's wrap this show up.
Okay. You can follow this guy at S_Neil on Instagram if you want to keep up with him. I am Kandee Loves Ya on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram, just everything you can have on social media. That's KANDEE loves YA.
Yep.
With that said, make sure you check out all of SNBTV's links. We are on Facebook under Slice Network, Twitter, SNBTV, and on Instagram, you can follow our parent company, NMG_studios. With that said, we will see you all next week with another amazing episode of Gender Wars, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. See you there.
Take care.